up here. Good morning, good morning. Hello friends, happy MPA Monday. It's a chilly day up here. Super beautiful though. Good morning, Robert. We're here at the Piedras Blancas elephant seal rookery. Up a bit. Let's just hope we can get some consistent rain though to keep that up. You may be able to hear some noises in the background. These are some of the residents that live here. We'll see some of them in just a moment. I'll go ahead and flip the camera, introduce myself. Good morning, everyone. Happy MPA Monday. My name is Robin. I work for California State Parks. Every Monday you can find me on Facebook exploring a part of our San Luis Obispo Coast District. And right now I'm on the northern portion of our district. We're at San Simeon State Park. And you can see a couple of the residents behind me here. These are the northern elephant seals. We'll get to see some up more in the future. And to give you an idea of where I am, you may be able to see it. That little bit right there, that's actually the Piedras Blancas light station. So we're just north of the light station, north of Hearst Castle. And it's a beautiful day. It is pretty chilly. You can see I've got my beanie on. But it's a beautiful day. So let's go ahead and meet some of these residents here. We've got a creek right here. And oftentimes you'll see these northern elephant seals playing in this creek. Good morning, Joan. It is beautiful but cold. Good morning, Nancy. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you love MPA Mondays. They're fun for me. Of course, I'd wish to have you all out here joining me for a little hike, a little stroll somewhere in our parks on the San Luis Obispo Coast District, but this works just as well. So for those of you who have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those down below. I may not be able to answer them during this program, but I will definitely make sure to get those answers for you. So here are our friends, and there are a lot. This is actually the time of year where you'll see most of these northern elephant seals. Usually around the holidays. December, maybe even as early as November, January, and then February. And even until March. And you will see them throughout the year as well, but it's during these this time of year, the winter season, where people usually come to plan their trips around seeing these northern elephant seals. Because you can see the beach is packed. Got some males here. Fighting for some prime real estate. And you can actually see the little dark elephant seals that you see, those are actually the pups. And there's quite a few. Good morning, Jean. Good morning, Ronald. Kathleen is saying, are you seeing a lot of pups? Perfect segue. Yeah, Kathleen, you actually have quite a few pups here. You can see there's some bigger ones there who've had quite a bit of milk already. I may have to start yelling, so let me know if you can't hear me. It is quite loud out here. We've got some newborns here. You can see the little tiny ones. Some of them still even have their umbilical cords. You can see some of them are nursing. Jeremy's saying, wow, the pups are bigger than I thought. Yeah, they start off at about 80 pounds. So these are some big babies, and they get big quickly because they're constantly nursing. Constantly trying to build up their weight so that they can grow big and strong, like this guy. So that's an adult male, as you see there. You can see all the scarring in the front of his neck and his chest. This actually just shows that he's been in quite a few fights, because these male elephant seals will fight. Some of you may have seen that a little bit about a minute ago. And it can get pretty brutal sometimes. So there are some casualties. Kathleen says great footage. Thanks, Kathleen. It's really the elephant seals doing all the hard work here. You can see a big guy coming in from the ocean there. And you can actually see, so here's a better shot. I mentioned it earlier. Just there, as soon as my finger goes away, you'll see it. That is the Piedras Blancas light station. You can see that blinky light every once in a while. So we are just north of that light station, north of Hearst Castle, north of San Simeon, yet still not quite to Big Sur. And we're still in the San Luis Obispo Coast District, which takes up everywhere from Montana de Oro State Park up to Carpoforo Creek, which is the very southern tip of Big Sur. And at this angle you can't really tell, but some of you who may have been here before can tell when you're driving up the coast when you're driving up Highway 1, which is right here, and you look in this direction towards these rocks, it actually looks, they're actually two separate rocks, and the taller one here in the front looks like a boot, and the one just in front of it looks like a slipper. So driving up the Highway 1 on a road trip, or maybe come to see these guys, you'll see boot and slipper, which are some big rocks that are pretty noticeable off the highway. Jean is asking, why are they flipping the sand on themselves? It's a really good question, Jean. So why they do that is actually to help protect themselves. So they can't put sunscreen on themselves. So what they do is they'll actually flip sand to help reduce, it's so loud, I'm hoping you all can hear me, to help them reduce the UV rays that can affect their skin. Also kind of just serves as an overall protectant. Just like we may exfoliate our hands, our face, maybe exfoliate our bodies, or if you can think of mud baths or something like that. In a way, it's kind of like that, but mainly to protect from the sun. So just off this beach here, we have an MPA. We have the Piedras Blancas Marine Protected Area, MPA for short. And for those of you just joining, MPAs are much like underwater parks. So they're protected spaces out in the ocean that allow for us to enjoy recreation. So even though they're protected spaces, it is still encouraged for us to enjoy them. Now this beach in particular, we may not want to enjoy, especially today. I don't know how you feel about having a picnic out on this beach, but I probably would hold off for another day. But enjoying our MPAs, enjoying these protected areas, is what's so great about them. Just like parks that we all go to, a national park, a state park, park down the street from your house, these parks are awesome to play in, right? Whether we're having a picnic, going on a hike, riding a bike, maybe kayaking, depending on the kind of park you're at. Marine protected areas are a lot like these parks, except they're under the waves and they're in the ocean. So marine protected areas are great places to play, but also for these animals to thrive. For the animals, the plants, for all of the wildlife that exists within this ecosystem to exist how they naturally would. For them to be healthy, because this could very easily be a beach that we might want to hang out at, right? I mean, it's a pretty chilly day today, but on a nice sunny day, this would be a great spot to have a beach blanket out, an umbrella, maybe a sandwich or two. But to be able to have these little spaces set aside where these animals can come up, they can rest from their long journeys because they're out in the ocean migrating for miles and miles and miles. They are long distance swimmers. So to be able to allow them to have a space for them to have a rest, raise their young, is absolutely amazing. And to be able to have these marine protected areas just adjacent to our parks, like this park here at Hurston Simeon, is just absolutely ideal. So not only is the water protected, so there's more resources for these animals out in the ocean, but the land here is also protected so that this can continue to be a space for them to visit year after year, and they don't have to worry about any condos taking up their real estate. marine protected areas help to bolster and add abundance to the wildlife that live in them. And it's so cool that we're not just protecting one species. We're not just protecting these northern elephant seals or maybe a pelican, maybe the kelp, maybe some fish out there, but we're protecting the entire ecosystem and how they interact with each other. So for those of us that live in California, we're actually pretty lucky. We've got quite a few MPAs along our coastline. We've got some little cuddle bugs down here. So along our California coastline, we have 124 marine protected areas. And you might be saying, well, so what? That's pretty cool. That's a cool number. But it's actually the largest network of marine protected areas in the entire world. So having these marine protected areas, like a string of pearls along our coastline, allows for our coastal resources, our beautiful California coastal resources, to be protected. And having this string of pearls allows to benefit the adjacent waters as well. Because as these marine protected areas become healthier and healthier, as the abundance of life grows, it actually spills over into these adjacent waters, so into unprotected waters. Therefore, pumping life, pumping energy, pumping all of this good stuff that's being protected into areas that aren't even protected. This is what's known as the spillover effect. It's always fun to hear their sounds. It's like a little cacophony of different noises. Some gurgles, some squeaks. Jeremy is asking, this might be a tough question, is there something special about the topography of this beach that attracts the seals? That is a tough question. I don't think that there is a certain reason why this beach, topographically at least, might be beneficial. But I do know that they have excellent memory. So it probably happened 20, 25, 30 years ago when they were starting to increase in numbers. And over time, they just remembered this spot. They remembered it was a safe place, more food available to them. I will definitely make sure to ask the experts to get, because that is a good question. There may be, I mean, the fact that it is a sandy, pretty open beach probably has a lot to do with that. If it was these rocky intertidal over here, that was all that was here, obviously wouldn't be that great. But yeah, probably the fact that it's a big sandy open beach. You can see they stretch all the way over here. are born? That's an excellent question. I know that they don't stay very long, and I will definitely get the exact amount of time for you, but I know that they leave them pretty quickly. Again, I'm not an expert on northern elephant seals, but this is what's great, so we can learn together. So definitely make sure to leave that information. So if anybody's interested, do make sure to check the comments later on. Questions you guys bring up, comments you bring up, I try to respond to those every week. So, allowing us to learn together is another great thing about these live streams. Jeremy is asking, have elephant seals been spotted further south, like Pismo or Grover? Not that I know of. I know that in the town of Cambria, which is south of San Simeon, so it's a bit further south than here, there actually have been some elephant seals spotted at those beaches. And those are popular recreational beaches, so people will walk and enjoy. So it can actually be a point of concern to share these spaces amongst humans and elephant seals. But I don't know about much further south than that. Again, I will make sure to get that information for you guys, because these are great questions. Amy's saying incredible footage. Again, it's all the elephant seals. I'm simply here just scanning the beach. Teresa is asking, can you describe the smell? When I'm visiting when they are pupping, the smell of the nursing moms was very pronounced. Actually, right now, typically it does have quite a smell. I completely agree with you, but right now it's really not that bad. Again, I am wearing a mask, so that might be helpful. But it's not so bad right now. A little shocked. Robert is asking, what do elephant seals eat? So elephant seals are deep divers. So when they're out in the ocean, probably their favorite meal is squid. I know that they enjoy eating other things as well. Squid gives them lots of nutrients though, lots of calories. Nancy's saying, I learned mothers leave pups at about 1 month. The pups are born around 75 to 80 pounds and in 1 month weigh 300 pounds. Yes, 1 month. That sounds right. But I do remember hearing that, so they are born at about 80 pounds and they eat quickly. So again, you can see some of these little guys who are probably a little bit fresher. You can see one nursing here. There's another little one there nursing. And then you can see this one over here. So they grow pretty quickly. They plump up. Hoping that everything's all right, of course. They can breastfeed. Get all the nutrients they need. Plump up. So I want to thank you all so much for joining me at the Piedras Blancas MPA. We've got a showdown here. A lot of excitement happening. Glad you could be here. Again, an absolutely beautiful day. Thanks so much for joining me for another MPA Monday. Again, my name is Robin. I'm with California State Parks, and you can find us on Facebook either at San Simeon State Park or Morro Bay State Parks, exploring another area of our beautiful San Luis Obispo Coast District every Monday. I also take suggestions, so if anybody's itching to visit somewhere, feel free to leave a comment or suggestion down below. You can also find these live streams. I know not everyone is a Facebook user, so you can also find these live streams on our YouTube page at San Luis Obispo Coast District. So feel free to leave comments and questions there as well. Friends or family members that you know that don't use Facebook, encourage them to check it out on YouTube. Again, thank you so much for joining me. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and most importantly, stay kind. Bye everyone.